There we go. You ready? This is our daughter, Maddie. Maddie's 22 years old, and she has an infectious laugh and a very, very, very determined spirit. We had a couple of friends who were receiving supports, and we just couldn't believe what PHSS was doing out in the community. One of our first introductions was sailing. And Maddie was able to sail for the first time independently with her support worker. And we were just floored at the flexibility of supports. It's amazing that Maddie can create her day. It's a custom day. And we have 4 full days of support for Maddie, which is incredible for us.
What do you think, Maddie? Maddie likes it.
So we brought together a number of folks, particularly that looked after some of these patients in ICU settings. So we were familiar with all the needs of patients that were, quote, medically fragile in an ICU. You know, the breathing support needs, the intravenous needs, the feeding needs, the physiotherapy needs, the nursing needs. We were familiar with that for patients that had acute medical problems in our ICUs. So it wasn't much of a step for us to try to create the system outside of ICU.
Somebody who you consider having a complex medical need, they need support. It's not just the ventilator or the technology. It is the tracheostomy, the opening in their windpipe, their airway. There's a lot of things to learn. They're not complex, but you put them together and you refer to them as having complex needs because they have multiple needs.
So that's where the benefit of PHSS has been over the last 10 years. We're able to provide these patients with a venue of care that's like home. They have their own trained support workers. And they actually can do it better than some of our staff in ICU, because if they end up coming back to ICU because of an acute care problem, you know, they know the patient's needs better than a new nurse coming on.
I can think of a few people who have come out of ICU, and some of them have been very young. What is their capacity to be part of the community? Mm-hmm. And in the hospital, they're not. They're not living their lives, they're just stuck in that place, right? To watch people come out and just grow and do things that people thought they could never do.
You can certainly see it and hear it from your clients too. That's the kind of care that they want. You can see the attention to care within the homes for these individuals. And at the same time, keeping them socially engaged, extremely important.
But it benefits not just the individual and the family, it benefits the hospital, the system, and the community.
The fact that we can support people until end of life, it is somewhat, although sad, it is very satisfying coming from a staffing perspective that you were able to, you know, give them that care and support that they needed up until they no longer needed it. I've been here for 22 years because of the people that we support, and it's fulfilling for myself to watch them grow and achieve the goals that they've set for themselves for the years, and just to watch them thrive and enjoy their life. Everybody deserves that.
Formerly, she used to always want to be around us and go everywhere with us.
One of the big changes we see is when the support workers come in the morning, she runs to the door. She's like ready to go for the day.
She's like, open the door, flings it open, and just runs out the door. We have seen her independence skyrocket.
The great thing too when we have consistency in the staff is, you know, you do end up building relationships with the people that we support. They do almost become your own little family.
The family support program has had an incredible impact on Maddie's life. So for the first time, Maddie, without us, went to Toronto with girlfriends. They rented a hotel room and stayed in it all together with a hot tub. And there was actually a rooftop pool surrounded by skyscrapers. That was a really, really big thing for her, to go on her own, without her parents, with her friends, and supported completely. She really, really enjoys an adventure.
Yeah, I know, right? For sure.